on the last season of All In. We met a man who takes fitness seriously. How serious, do you ask? So seriously that he was named second fittest man on Earth. His name was Pat Vellner. This year, follow along as we follow along with Pat Vellner, everyone's favorite Canadian. Can he win the award of fittest man on Earth, other than this guy, or will his chief rival, the Professor, step up to foil his plans? Find out on this season of All In.
No. That is not what happened at all. The editor is certifiably crazy. I am Armin Hammer, noted CrossFit vlogist, professional talker-abouter of CrossFit, and this is Explainer Time with Armin. Me.
Explainer Time with Armin. Explainer Time with Armin.
Okay, enough of the song, As I was saying, last season, we actually met Canadian CrossFitter Brent Fikowski.
Do you know who Brent Fikowski is?
He's an accountant by day and an elite athlete also by day. We watched him eat, shop, sleep, train, even host his own TV show, all with the goal of winning the CrossFit Games and earning the title of fittest on Earth. We learned about the value of friendship. We saw a lot of abs. And we also heard what might be the greatest earworm song of all time. Okay, that's enough of that. We promise we'll never play that ever again for you, ever. Season 1 of All In was all about close calls. Fikowski almost didn't even make the games, and when he was there, he just barely missed out on a podium spot. But it turns out he's not even the fittest Albertan, much less the fittest Canadian. So this season, we're pushing our chips all in on the slightly fitter, messier-haired, part-time Ed Sheeran lookalike Patrick Vellner, who took second at the 2018 CrossFit Games. Now, the real question is, can he beat the all-in curse of tying Lucas Hogberg for third place, only to barely miss out on the tiebreaker and taking fourth, ruining a whole years worth of work by our producers and directors. No pressure, Pat. No pressure.
So you guys pretty much just take the guy who finished second at the games and try to bet on him to win the next year and just make a documentary, follow him around?
That's basically it.
Nice. Well, I hope it works out this year. Better than last year anyway.
2018 was a pretty big year for me. I robbed a bank.
I lost my virginity. Got in 3 car crashes. Yeah. Anyways, I feel like it was good. I'm excited to see what 2019 brings.
Yeah, we're going to go see what people think I do with my time.
And see maybe what their current stereotypes of Red Deer, Alberta are. And I think it's going to be interesting.
I'm from Red Deer and I'm second best in the world at, like, one of those options?
Yeah, it's one of these 4 outfits. It's like Central Alberta.
Okay.
Oh, you're a figure skater.
Red Deer. I'm gonna go for beer
You
bong.
look like Logan Paul's like older cousin. You know,
Thank you.
Are you famous?
Yeah. Oh, he said we're both wrong, so rodeo clown.
Well, second best is unimpressive anyway.
Do this? I already know.
Red Deer. Where's Red Deer?
Alberta first. No, not yet.
Well, it's not very fun then.
Flattered that people think I have the lines for figure skating.
We're saying rodeo clown.
Beer pong.
That's what I hate it.
What in the Christ is fitness racing?
So, do you know what CrossFit is?
Oh my.
Red Deer, like.
Red Deer. Yeah.
What's the place?
Was it Alberta? Red Deer?
You're a figure skater?
Come on, because somebody else might win again.
What's fitness racing?
What's the difference between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the cigarette vending machine? Cigarette vending machine has players.
Where's Red Deer? He's a ballroom dancer.
Auctioneer.
Actually, yeah. Okay, we got exercise racing.
You got it. That is right.
Okay. Awesome.
What is that?
So yeah, you
I know. I actually agree with you. I think that would be awesome.
You don't talk very fast, so I'm not going to say announcer. You don't have big arms, I'm not going to say curling. Well, I mean, like, does it look like he grabs rocks all day?
CrossFit, the CrossFit Games, I was second last year.
Oh, so you do have big arms. Yo, good luck, man.
Thank you.
Good luck with the exercise rate.
All right, let's start in 3, 2, 1.
Patrick Vellner, I'll tell you what, that guy has been so impressive to watch over the last couple of years as he's gotten better and better and more confident and more confident.
I use that as something to fuel me to try to win. I want to be better than the guy next to me, and I want to be better than the next guy.
So he's just a guy that he's just all in with everything.
You can just tell he's a man on the mission this year. He wants that #1 spot.
Patrick Vellner, a big round of applause. Vellner is in.
What he had to go through to get to this particular position.
I'm Pat Vellner, and I'm a fitness racer.
These were the good things I did from the games. These were kind of the blunders that happened. Something about last year's games.
The funny part is my good things list is not long.
But he might be Murphy's Law, but I love the fighting spirit. So here we go. We started off this year with the mechanical issues, chains coming off. We saw him fall from the cargo net. Watch this drop. Boom! Even had to go on a trip to the hospital. This guy has been through the ringer and still is able to fight his way.
That's the biggest problem with that.
How did you end up second?
I don't know. Everybody else was than I was. And I think we were all sitting at the presser afterwards, and people were like, but people were just impressed I survived, I think, overall. So it was great. Yeah, lots of good old fun blunders, and all's well that ends well. But I did have some great things. I mean, I finished second in the total, which was huge for me to do so well in the strength event. Pulled 595. I've never done that before. I mean, even high placings in like a marathon row. It wasn't all bad, but I think the bad moments were definitely spectacular. And I think that's what kind of, when I think about the 18 games, those are the things that stick out in my head. So 2018 was a normal, typical year. We had the 3-pronged season, open regionals games. But now 2019, they've kind of flipped everything on its head, and we have no real idea of what the system's going to look like, but it's shaping up to be a very interesting year, I think.
So folks, let's quickly recap the changes to the... Oh, there's that song again. Wait, no, I don't have time for this song. Guys, you're getting like 30 seconds to cover something very complicated. That's like 27 seconds left. Okay, so very quickly, the games used to be something like this. The Open started the season and you qualified into regionals, and then from regionals you qualified for the games, which are kind of like the World Championships. But now regionals have been completely sacked and replaced with something called sanctionals. 11 seconds left. Okay, so sanctionals are like independent events where the winners of these sanctionals get invites to the CrossFit Games. 5 seconds? Okay, so the really important thing that you have to know is that...
So 2019, this year, things have kind of changed. We have a new system, a new structure. So it's given us a little bit of freedom to compete and try to win spots to the games earlier. So my plan is to head to Miami in January, mid-January, and try to win a spot to the games early so I can take some time off and regroup, catch up on some school stuff, make sure I graduate on time. Then the Open will be the next step for me. Try to do my best there, and then move on, maybe compete one more time, I think at the Rogue Invitational in May, just as kind of a tune-up competition, and then regroup for the big show in August.
The question you've been asked quite a bit. Do you have what it takes to dethrone the champion?
Mat Fraser, 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 Fraser has it. Mat Fraser!
I think I have what it takes, but it takes all you have, right? I can't show up and do a half competition even like I did last year, because Matt doesn't have those misses very often. He doesn't stumble like that very often. He's fairly consistent. So you have to compete the same way. You need to put your top 5 finishes in when you have them, and then anything that you're a little bit weaker at, you have to rein those in and still finish in the top 10. So there's less room for misses anymore, and that's just sort of how you have to compete, and you have to know that. So everything's got to be polished. It's got to be a well-oiled machine that hits the floor. So the good thing now is I've got extra time if I qualify early, right? So get that done early. You can go back to basics. You can polish things up and try to show up a much better prepared version of yourself come August.
We're driving on the QE2 from Edmonton to Red Deer. We're gonna see how many cars we can spot on the ditch on the way there.
Yeah, I grew up in Red Deer, Alberta, so not a small town, but not a town that a lot of people would know outside of the West.
At a Boston Pizza and a Chevrolet dealership and a bunch of liquor stores.
Yeah, my folks are still living there. My family's all still there pretty much. I have 2 brothers. I'm the middle.
I'll try to be cool. We see who in the family loves you the most, and it's definitely the dog.
Hello. Yeah. What's up?
Yeah, thank you.
Doing great, Ed.
How are you?
That's right, we did.
Okay, shake hands and push-ups if you did work out.
I've been mostly weightlifting. I'm probably heavier than I've been in a while.
That's
so
not gonna help
it's not
any.
super helpful, but
Yeah.
I'm stronger, but I'm like, see,
I don't well fed, buddy.
I've got my like wine flash. I'm like, please no.
Like doing really well, and you're like, oh, he's good at this, right? We're kind of watching the crowd, like cheering him on, and I don't know, it was just quite an eye opener to just walk with him a bit and say, okay, tell us what CrossFit's all about. Right? We gotta find out before the next event, right?
It's kind of funny because it was the same. Like I didn't know a lot about the competition scene either, right?
No.
I was like, oh,
So we were
I
like-
guess you guys can come. Like I don't really know what it is.
And then it steadily, as the events went on, and you know, so who is this bad guy? Right? You know, like, the progression was quick after that, for sure. It went.
That was the first time I ever watched CrossFit. Was his first time at the games.
No, was that that's the first time you
Or
were
actually his first time as an individual. I didn't even show up for the team. Saw my brother, fair weather fan.
to the team? Nah. Is he in the playoffs?
Okay, nerd.
It's just a whole world of people that are out there that are into this, and when you go to the games, and you know you've got 40,000 of the fittest fans. I mean, that's the fittest crowd you're ever going to be in, right? It turned out to be a kind of an ideal sport for him because he was always just generally, you know, a jack of all trades, good athlete, right? So CrossFit kind of fits for that, right?
I think almost the more you're an underdog in that world, the more everybody got behind you. They're all like cheering for, oh, this guy used to be 300 pounds. I like that even more, you know. And just it was more about this feeding this community of people who are excited about just like taking the next step in their life.
Changing your life for the better.
That to me was something that I didn't know about it. In fact, I would say that I had the expectation that it was going to be highly elitist and very very snobby. It was kind of what I would have expected coming in, and then was like very, very shocked that it was not like that at all. The complete opposite. That was the coolest thing for me.
Yeah.
We're trying to change that.
Yeah.
Working towards
it.
Raise the barrier.
We're going to meet my old gymnastics coach, Yongji Wang. He's OG. He's a beauty. So we're at like right around where my old high school was, where I used to train gymnastics all the time at the community center here.
Gio, what's up? How are you?
Pretty good. Hey, yeah. Hey, I tried to watch your videos.
Oh, really?
That's pretty good. Second
Second last
place
year.
was
Second
last
place.
year. Yeah,
I couldn't win it
yeah.
for you.
I
but-
didn't even know.
When you have coaches who spend that much time with you, you get like build a serious relationship, and that's like another parent in your life, right? So
He's turned big guy, and lots of muscle. Yeah, I'm really, really surprised. You did very well in this. Wow.
I appreciate that.
Second, so I wish you next time to be the champion.
That's coming up, August. That's what we're gonna try for. If they throw a few more backflips and more gymnastic style events, maybe then I'll have a better shot. So sometimes people have a hard time understanding Gio, but I think when you spend a lot of time with them, you sort of learn how to understand.
看到他就在这个其他项目也是 这样的成功非常高兴。
He said that I'm one of his favorite students he's ever had, and he's been super happy to see me have great success in life and in love.
哇，你说的真不错，比我说的好多了。
Said, I can't believe you still speak Chinese so fluently.
Oh, that's exactly what he said.
Gymnastics, I just think, are great as far as, body awareness, like understanding mechanics, understanding movement. I think you just develop such good awareness of your body that when it comes time to learn a new skill, you're really good at picking up cues fast. You learn quickly. You're used to training long hours. You're used to falling on your head all day. So, failing at something a couple times before you nail it is not a big deal. In gymnastics, you fall 100 times before you ever do anything right. So you really learn how to take failure in stride and really treat that as a tool to learn. So I think that the mentality you develop in a sport like that is what will really help you succeed at virtually anything. The real trick's gonna be not landing on any of these kids, flattening them.
The vibe in the venue is really cool. I came to watch last year, and it's a show. It's really is a big festival feel. There's lots of lights, there's lots of color. It's very Miami, so I think it's a lot of fun. They put on a really good show.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm actually They do need to put a little skating into some of these events. That would be good.
It'd be fun. People would eat.
That's not the skating I'm talking about, but yeah.
Ice skating.
Like ice skating.
Canadian.
Oh, Canadian.
Yeah, I get razzed a little bit when we're out in the States competing, anything like that, because I'm pretty prototypical Canadian. Grew up small town, Alberta, played hockey growing up. I've checked all the boxes in the Canadianness.
I think everyone's going to be excited to see Pat. Canadian athletes are seen a lot at the games, and I think he brings a really good energy to the floor. He has a tendency to kind of almost look like nothing phases him, and I think people are really enchanted by that. So I really think it's going to be a really cool vibe when he comes onto the floor and shows everybody what he can do.
My elbow's sharp.
Sean, you gonna run with that hat? Yeah, when you run slow like me, this thing don't come off.
2, 1, go.
I expect more from myself, bro. How's that? You alright? I mean, I just front three broke off, and I was like, I'm cool in third. Like Wayman and Dakota sprinted out the last 300, and I was like, peace. Every now and then you hit a hard patch, and you'd be like, yeah, yeah.
And then as soon as you guys stopped, I was like, no.
The last 400 was baby soft. That's brutal.
Some of the elite athletes coming in. The three that jump out to you that have a chance to qualify out of this event: Patrick Vellner, Noah Olson, Travis Mayer. Wodapalooza has traditionally been the Noah Olson show.
So I think it's going to be fun to watch him. Patrick Vellner, I'll tell you what, that guy has been so impressive to watch over the last couple years as he's gotten better and better and more confident, and really believes now that he can push Mat Fraser, which I think is impressive. You have to think you're going to win.
Patrick Vellner and Travis Mayer in the bottom right side of your screen has now moved into the first place position as they move one more. How close is Vellner? Vellner's picking up the pace. Frager gets a no rep. He hits the top of the block. And Frager just trying to outpace Vellner. And it was Patrick Vellner to get second overall. Travis Mayer is still working on. You got some of your top 3 so far. Dakota Rager in lane number 5 took event number 2 out of the hands. Third and final heat underway with a trip to the CrossFit Games on the line. All athletes will start with 5 rope climbs. The first climb will have to be legless. After that, they can use their feet on the way up. Patrick Vellner in the center part of your screen is off to a very quick pace. He didn't close the gap, but Vellner, I don't know if it was a turbo boost of adrenaline.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things about Pat Vellner is, and he says that this comes from his gymnastics, is you don't get bummed out when something bad happens. You just kind of get yourself right back in the game and start moving.
You can't see his face from this angle, but we can definitely see it. He looks very comfortable out there.
Extremely comfortable. This is, you know, we talk about who's going to push Mat Fraser, and we constantly are starting to say that. I know Fraser gets tired of hearing that about Rich and what him compared to Rich, but Vellner's the guy to chase Fraser, and look at him. He looks so good. Holy cow.
Well underneath the time to beat, Patrick Vellner gets a first place finish in event number 3.
Yeah, having Matt in my region for a few years, I got to know him really well, and then obviously then competing with him closely at the games, it's been awesome. He's an awesome dude. He's a fierce competitor, and so it's sort of like you have these rivalries, right? But outside of competition, we're all good, but as soon as it's on a competition floor, I think we want to rip each other apart. And Brent's the same way. I mean, we do the Invitational together, and we always have a blast. Bad boy, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. How's things?
I like your hair. I'm good.
Oh, I know. It gets worse, trust me.
Well, yeah.
We came in the same year as rookies and had great successful years. So we've kind of been on the same trajectory right from the start. So it's been cool. It's nice to have 2 Canadians doing so well. But because we will both want to be the best Canadian, right? So it's kind of like we have this rivalry by itself. But, you know, we want to see each other succeed until it's time to be at the games. And then we're like, all right, now you want the other guy to get out of your way. Just do the bare minimum. I'll try to build up a points lead and then just do the bare minimum work requirement.
Yeah, no, I think that should that pretty much covers it, man. Good luck. Wear lots of sunscreen.
Oh, dude, I have a huge hat, and I'm planning on actually being indoors most of the time, so I wouldn't worry about it.
It's kind of your brand, so you
Yeah, exactly. I have to stay on brand.
Stay on brand. All right, later, dude.
See you. Cheers, buddy.
Welcome back to Bayside here at the 2019 Wodapalooza CrossFit Festival, as we are done with Heat 1 of individual elite men. Moving on to Heat 2, and we're tackling ski school. We have that staple event here at Wodapalooza, is that swimming is back here at Bayside.
And I love the way this is set up. 40-calorie skier, which is basically your buy-in. You have your 250-meter swim, so they'll be swimming out around those buoys out there in the water. Come back in, and you have 3 sets of unbroken double unders. That unbroken part is key, because at the end, your cash out is at 40 calories again on skiers, but for every break you had on the double unders, you add 5 calories, up to a total, stay ahead of him. So again, those are your 2 overall leaders that are battling with a mere 6 points between them.
Vellner sitting in lane 15, 3 cals to go. Trying to chase down Elliott Simmons next to him. Vellner is done right around 10:29. So Vellner made up a lot of ground after he got out of the water in about 9th place in the heat.
Yesterday we saw him finish the event. He didn't look that exhausted, but right here he looked smashed.
I mean, it was my worst finish of the competition, so kind of for an outsider looking in, it might not look that great, but to me, that's a top 10 finish in a swim event, which is something that I historically haven't been very strong in, especially, you know, open water, in the ocean, in a mass start kind of situation. I've been working a lot on that, so having an opportunity to kind of showcase the work that I've done.
This is my swimming inspiration right here. Try to keep up with it. It's impossible. It's the fastest man alive.
I mean, I didn't go from last to first, but I made big progress in an area that I've been weak in the past. So to me, that was a big personal win, to finally have a win in my books on a swimming event. Going into day 3 at Wodapalooza, I was up by a fair amount of points, but by no means had it locked up, so I had to try to really bring it for the next couple events. The first event of that last day was actually a heavy snatching event, not something I'm typically great at, but I really performed far beyond my expectations, and I actually won that workout. And doing that locked down the competition for me. That sealed the deal, put me up by over 100 points going into the last workout, which meant, it was all over but the crying. So
You did everything you needed to do, and just don't be complacent with the last one, man. Show them who's boss.
Run them into the grass. Like that killer instinct?
Don't let anyone feel like they can beat you.
And on the competition floor, as we will bring it all down to one champion and one trip to the 2019 CrossFit Games. Currently sitting on top of the leaderboard in lane number 10 with a substantial lead is Patrick Vellner.
Shirt. Now here's something that we looked at, the difference. Noah Olsen took a break on the left-hand side. Pat Vellner is not breaking on the right-hand side. Now granted, two very capable gymnastic athletes, and I'm surprised that Noah isn't taking.
Patrick Vellner has locked up a win here at Wodapalooza, but he is also Canadian resident who could possibly win the Open in his country.
Absolutely.
If that happens, and he gets the invite from Canada, they will backfill the second place finisher at his most recent event. One more rep for Mayer. We have a 60-foot front rack lunge to finish this event, and this is going to be a race to the finish.
They all set that down, so now he got the rest. He was able to see where everyone is, and I think that honestly, the other two athletes are conceding. Pat let Travis go. Noah letting Travis go.
And Travis Mayer, with one more lunge, will win the final event here in Wodapalooza. And here comes Patrick Vellner. Patrick Vellner, you, my friend, are going to the CrossFit Games.
Amazing.
not having the time to travel around the world and continue to do sanctioned events, it was really, really huge and a big weight off my shoulders to perform well, punch my ticket, and be able to turn the page and focus on something other than CrossFit for a little while.
All right, yeah, that was pretty good. I don't love that you used my theme song again. So the only notes I have is we just want to make sure that they know that the person that Vellner kissed was in fact his girlfriend and not his sister, Michelle. That's his girlfriend. She's really nice. And everything else is really good. And in the intro sequence, was that my old volleyball coach?
Yeah. He was the only one that said all in.
Yeah, but he was talking about me.